I guess the philosophy behind my work is it all sort of stems from environmental ecology in one way or another. Some of the stuff that I was doing in the beginning was more about using reused materials and sort of trying to cut down the impact that we sort of have on the environment in making new things from new materials. More recently, I've sort of been more focused on the problem that I find with the consumption that we have as a part of our society and trying to sort of work against that. I was sort of trying to think about things that are important to people, trying to make the objects that I design somehow important to the person that owns them. And the thing that I sort of started to work on was the idea of personal relationships and how a personal relationship is probably the most important thing to anybody. That's sort of where things like the pregnant chair came from. It's sort of about the idea of this relationship that exists between a mother and a child, and the features of each chair are the same or very similar, the same as a child is. Like it's kind of hard to get across that dependence in an object, but yeah, I'm sort of doing my best to make them fit together as a pair of objects that you know really belong together aesthetically. Furoshiki is it's a small cloth. I think it's about 1 metre by 1 metre, and it's basically just used to wrap anything that's fragile or delicate or precious, and it's tied in different ways to make it useful for different shaped objects. The idea behind this particular piece is to sort of use the language, Japanese language, and sort of develop a kind of a play on words to make people reconsider the meaning of those words and sort of reconsider the traditions of their culture. So ichimatsu is what the original one's called, and ichi means also means community, and matsu also means pine tree. So with this particular sort of redevelopment, I made each check pattern a little community of pine trees. The idea of doing this was they're sort of, as part of the G8, they were trying to make this fashionable again because obviously in Japan packaging is a huge issue. So much packaging is used and everything comes in a plastic bag, at least one. So they're trying to convince people that we need to sort of move back to those more traditional ways where you can carry this thing in your handbag or in your backpack or whatever and use it instead of getting a plastic bag from, you know, whatever it is that you're buying. The kissing pendants are really about, yeah, it's sort of any loving relationship where you sort of embrace with another person. It's sort of about that relationship, about coming together, about embracing with a person that you love. And I guess the whole idea that the lights turn on when they come together is sort of a physical expression of, you know, what that person does to you. I don't ever want to be the kind of designer that just sort of pumps out stuff because it's wanted. I think there should be a need for or you know, at least I should find some kind of need for the things that I'm doing. I guess it's more about choosing who to work with in a kind of a strategic way and making sure that, you know, to only work with companies that have that kind of philosophy. Not just doing things that I want to be doing, but trying to have some kind of positive influence in a greater sense as well.